AC Valhalla has always been a mixed bag for me. There were some things they did right and some things they did poorly. I thought replaying it would help me gain a better sense of clarity of this game, and sadly I ended up disliking it even more. In this video, I'll be discussing my thoughts on Valhalla after replaying it. There will be spoilers in this video, so beware. Without further ado, let's get on with the video. The story was decent to a certain extent, as characters like Eivor, Sigurd and Basim really stole the show with how well they were developed throughout the entire game, and how they interacted with each other. The assassin story is still sort of there, but it wasn't the main focus, and I get why that's the case, as they were focusing on Eivor, who has little interest in the assassins and was mostly interested in her clan for the whole story as well as her glory. I really feel like this isn't the direction they should have gone in, as I feel like Assassin's Creed is better when you let the main character be an assassin, because that's the point, right? It's been like that forever, and the word assassin is literally in the title. I still appreciate how they tried to incorporate an assassin story into this game, and they managed to do some cool things with Alfred basically creating the Templar Order in a way. They even sprinkled some beautiful assassin lore throughout the burials in the game, which I really appreciated, but it feels kinda diminished when all of this means nothing to Eivor. She doesn't really care about the assassins, and it feels like this was just put in the game to appease the long-time fans. Don't get me wrong, I still like the assassin content that was put in this game, even if it felt like it had less meaning due to Eivor not being an assassin, but there just wasn't enough assassin content in the game. This all probably happened due to the reception that Odyssey got, with its story having little correlation with the assassins, which kinda ticks off the older fans like me. However, Odyssey managed to build a fan base that really liked the change from the classical AC formula to an RPG approach that's more based in the historical fantasy of the games, while not really focusing on the story of the assassins. Ubisoft probably did not want to lose either side of their fan base, so they tried to make a compromise with Valhalla to try to cater to the people that like the historical RPG formula and the assassin fans at the same time. What we ended up getting was a Viking story that felt very bloated, as they stretched it out too long, and the Viking content wasn't really interesting either in my opinion. They also tried to fit in some assassin content, but were very limited due to the large amount of Viking content that was already present. Plus, it's kinda difficult to fit assassin content in a story where your main character really isn't interested in the assassins or the Templars. I get what they were trying to do, but if you're trying to appease two audiences with preferences that kinda conflict with each other, you are going to get a really messy game that does not know what it wants to be, which is what happened to Valhalla and its story. The combat in this game works fine, parries feel good, and some of the finishes look really cool. I also like how they gave us many weapons to experiment with, which really helped keep combat fun and interesting. However, the thing that holds back this combat system is the RPG mechanics. I have never been a fan of RPG mechanics in AC games, as I believe they don't really belong here, but I didn't really mind the change as much as some other fans did. I actually had some fun crafting some unique builds in AC Odyssey, so it's kinda sad to see a half-baked RPG system in this game. There is less incentive to upgrade gear, as even with lower level gear, you can defeat enemies that are at a much higher level than you. They kinda really diminish like the incentive to upgrade gear. The skill tree also feels a bit bloated with stats that don't really make much of a difference, which adds to the problems of this RPG system. This is a big problem with a game as grindy as Valhalla, as you feel like the many hours that you put into it does not really pay off due to the minuscule upgrades you get with skills and gear, and you don't really feel like you're progressing that much or really growing that much in power. This doesn't really please either side at the end of the day, as the RPG lovers have gotten a half-baked system, while the other fans still have to deal with some sort of RPG mechanics. They tried to please everyone with this system, which ended up in it being sort of a mediocre system and not one that could possibly be great. Cell in this game is kinda hit and miss, because the AI is kinda broken and can be absolutely dumb at times and absolutely eagle-eye at times. There is no consistency, which makes it feel like a sluggy experience. Enemies can sometimes spot you if you are not in their vision, and at times they can't hear you when you are right behind them and making tons of noise. But when it works like it's intended to, it works well. I love how they added the insta-kill with the hidden blade back, which made stealth more fun. Social stealth being there was also nice too, even though you could not really utilize it half the time, but still a nice addition. It's just sad how the system wasn't really consistent, which ended up bringing the whole stealth experience down due to it not working a big amount of times. There's not really much to say about parkour, it's just the Origins parkour system that lacked the depth that the old systems had. I'm glad they tried to at least make you use it more by collecting tattoo designs which were spread across the city, which forced you to use the system. The world activities was a really nice change from the standard side quests you would get from previous games. Some of them were really creative and it made me want to explore the world due to the unique nature of the game. They gave me nice flashbacks of the world events in Red Dead 2 that were so good, and I hope that more games use these types of events in their games. Assassin's Creed Valhalla feels like a game for no one. It overstates its welcome with a story that's too bloated, and it feels like they tried to create an experience to satisfy old fans and new fans at the same time, but ended up dividing them even more in my opinion. I hope the future entries are more focused in what they want to do and try not to cater to everyone, and it probably looks like that's going to be the case, with Mirage being more tailored to the old fans and Assassin's Creed Codename Red being more of an RPG. But at the end of the day, this is just my opinion. What do you guys think of AC Valhalla? Be sure to share your thoughts in the comments below, and with that being said, this has been 2367 Ruben, signing out.